What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review a greatest hits album by DMX. Basically, this product is called The Definition of X, The Pick of the Litter, and it came out in the late spring of 2007. Now, within Ferris about to hear as far as these pitch. These pitches can happen. This is a particular album that has most of the hits by DMX within these pitches. Pretty excellent within the phrase as far as getting towards it. Just a product of at least his first 5 albums and a little bit of like the Cradle to the Grave soundtrack pitches like that within these ordeals. So it's excellent type pitches within the ordeal, paying attention like the product of it. Now, DMX does fill out like a particular hit album of 18 songs pitched like that, and it's within the variety that a lot of these are pretty excellent type breadwinners on here. There's a good string of these, some of these type ones, like particular Rough Riders Anthem, X Gon' Give It To Ya, Party Up, Up in Here, Where the Hood At, some of these type ones, Get At Me Dog pitches like that, some of these type pitches. There's just a good Fury, I'd even say We Right Here, some of these type pitches. Just a good reminder and it's just a good reminder and a memory to kind of say within the fairs of how easily and aptly that DMX would particularly get really hit buzz singles pitches like that. Particularly the variety as far as saying, just paying attention to each of his 5 albums. There's always within the fair about it, with each of his hit albums from like the late 90s to early 2000s, DMX had a particular banging type club single or just something that was just an initial kind of noisemaker pitch like that that caught a lot of attention as far as these press amps. So it's just within the pitch as far as saying the aspect. He was pretty easily within the aspect of being able to move the crowd and get things riled within these pitches, and that translates to more aspects. It's not just strictly nightclubs and dance clubs pitches like that. It's also a variety as far as saying there's a good amount of traffic and makeshift kind of slog type songs on here pitches like that. So it's kind of the aspect DMX is like a perfect candidate for like makeshift and Muzak type fare within pitches, just because of his powder keg and kind of fireball type personality that just makes like the gulag type fashion of rush hour type traffic hours of like 2:30 to about 5:30 pitches like that really interesting, just because the way that he spews off and pitches like that. Sometimes that tries to really get that kind of going. So there's some ones on here in particular, like thinking of a couple of these, like particularly some of the singles off of the Great Depression, which is an album I'm less familiar with. Some of the singles off the Great Depression, which is an album I'm less familiar with, pitches like that. But Who We Be and We Right Here, some of these type pitches are particular ones within the aspect of this kind of. There are some other type ones within pitches like that, I just would have to say, but paying attention to the aspect songs like particular. Some of these type ones like X Gon' Give It To You and We Right Here have some excellent type pitches that just a great embrace to kind of get with like that facet of just if the music type era is really hellish pitch like that, or just the real middle fingers raised IDGF type mentality pitch like that. It's kind of the fair as far as saying just paying attention to some of these type products that DMX keeps it interesting and quite easily within those products as far as doing it. So it's just some of those type fairs. The ladies songs are pretty excellent on here. Do you like the Chinatown type fare of like a song like What These Bitches Want? DMX and Cisco really kill that one. There's some kind of personal type songs. DMX is pretty good at those as well. Songs like Slippin', The Rain, One More Road to Cross, some of these type pitches within varieties, extracurricular type fairs within some songwriting, just within the Tupac type variety as far as just differential type aspects that kind of bolster that. So it's kind of pitch, usually within some of those type aspects. So this kind of pitch is getting towards this pretty balanced type palette as far as these pitches can happen, just with the aspects of some of these type fairs. There's a Posse song and Hotbox. There's a Posse song and Hotbox song or two on here within some of these type pitches. The Locks and Swizz Beatz show up on here a few times within pitch like that. So it's just good type varieties. And on top of that, within some of the pitches, just paying attention to the aspect. This was kind of amidst, like within certain fashions, DMX kind of was in Hollywood within some of these type pitches as well. So some of those type varieties, definitely some Chinatown type songs as pitches of like varieties when you think of like that booming kind of movement that was going along with movies like Fast and the Furious and like the Grand Theft Auto games. Some of those type pitches with the aspect of just like the sleek type factor of this kind of New York type, city grease type fashions, pawn shop with like a more kind of Hollywood type fashion of albums like by Illmatic, by Nas and pitch like that. So really, DMX kind of was responsible of kind of giving like New York type rap. Apart from 50 Cent, DMX is a pretty good candidate for giving like New York kind of hip hop like a more commercial type sheen, adjusting to like the VH1 and MTV era pitch like that. So some of those type varieties, there's a lot of songs in here that caught like a pretty consistent amount of airplay, and he was a pretty good face to rap for like a good while within the pitch. It's kind of aspect. At least these first 5 albums really did that. Now I think the 2006 album was pretty good as well, but it's just the pitch that particular onslaught really does have the fury. So it makes sense that this was 18 songs worth of fear. So this album gets a 10 out of 10 recommend. All 18 songs off here pitched like that, so I one. So I'm just going to go down the list within these fairs, talking about each of the albums, going from It's Dark in Hell is Hot, to Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, and then there was X, The Great Depression, the Cradle to the Grave soundtrack, and then Grand Champ, some of these stuff pitches. So just paying attention So I'll start with particular. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. The first. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. The first album within these pitches. So Rough Riders anthem. If you knowing some good fairs about DMX, you should know this song pitches like that. It's like a banging and classic kind of rollout in New York kind of anthem to get here. Just city grease, definitely just pawn shop, some of these type fairs amongst it. So this kind of variety. It's kind of a more commercial type aspect within the tone, just like some New York type fairy, just roll heavily pitched like that. So this is another nice one for like the fit of like some gulag type fairy, just the aspect of just something to really listen to. Stuck in traffic, some of those type fairs, just like fuck. Kind of being a fuck it type mode, but not even mad pitches like that. It's kind of like a New York Lil Jon. I feel like within certain senses, you could kind of say that DMX was kind of like a New York version of Lil Jon. Some stuff pitches just the way he'd be like, nah ho, and some of those type pitches within some stuff aspects. This kind of pitch, as far as saying some of that type fury within it, just good excellent products about it. Real nice igniting type 1 pitches like that, some stuff fairs. Get At Me Dogs, the hitting type 1s. Now this is buzz single for DMX. It's one of these initial type 1s, one of the initial type products of him being on the scene. It's like a throwback kind of post Biggie, kind of late 90s, kind of NY out in the city, kind of Dave Fair, I'd say pitches like that. This kind of shopping and food court type music with flames in mind. Just kind of the fair as far as saying. So some commenting type traces, pitches like that, paying attention to some of these type varieties, just with an aspect of just like this. It's kind of a sunshine type song. It's not quite as much full bound, just like vanilla within a pitch, of just like plucky, but it's just kind of pitches, just saying like a Tibble type 1 that just kind of has like a particular disc. Good spry kind of Dave Fair pitches like that amongst those type products. So just Tibble type pitch, and just particularly appreciating like some shopping hours and products of like makeshift day scene kind of commonplace pitch like that. So good type varieties just within the NY type fashion, good pitch like that. So this is one of those type ones, just same within the post Biggie type vibes. It's kind of pitch of this. The next folk to kind of fuck with in like a large scale type fashion after like the Puff Daddy, shiny suit Biggie type era was kind of wearing off pitch like that. But it's just good varieties to some of that type aspects about it. Stop Being Greedy is a hitting type 1. Now, kind of within the fair, something that does not show up on this album is DMX's kind of demon type partner, Damien, as far as these pitch can happen. There are, like, even though this is a pretty filled out type album within, like, his greatest hits, there are some ones on here. Like, there are a couple, there's at least one single that's missing, which is Get It On The Floor, which is from Grand Champ. That was a real banging type 1 that probably should have been on here. I think probably exchanging a song. Most of these songs are all excellent on here, but kind of the pitch is saying probably within Friday, I think Get It On The Floor had like another Furious type 1 that could have been like another whammy with some of these type 1s when you get to like the meat of some of these, like Party Up in Here, What These Bitches Want, X Gon' Give It To You, Where the Hood At, some of these type 1s, Rough Riders anthems. This is kind of, I do feel like Get It On The Floor is definitely one of DMX's best hits, but this is kind of pitch. But Damien is not on here, it pitches like that, and it's kind of the aspect. I'm surprised that songs like Crime Story weren't on here either. Some of those type pitches, just paying attention, some of those type products. There are some hits within some of those type varieties. The Professional is not on here from, and then there was X, which is another good, nice one, pitches like that. But Stop Being Greedy is a hitting type 1s, like, and this was a single off of particular It's Dark and Hell is Hot, pitches like that. But Stop Being Greedy is like an upside down kind of Damien like, kind of shrill and commercial kind of demon play, I'd say here, pitches like that. Just some vanilla kind of slam. So within the aspect, it's kind of horrorcore within these pitches, just kind of getting like a radio single within some stuff pitches as far as like something to listen to in like a horror type sense, but just within the aspect as far as saying, paying more attention to like radio type fare. Particularly nails some of those type varieties just from the pitch about it. So it's just kind of a commercial, kind of the way Eminem kind of did with Relapse, some stuff pitches, but it's just a good aspect for getting like some goth rap pitches like that, some stuff fair. So it's excellent products about that. Real hellish type 1 and vanilla type sense. How's It Going Down is the fourth single off of It's Dark and Hell is Hot. It's a good, nice one. This good type flares about this showed a different change of tone for DMX within these pitches. Good excellent varieties, like an excellent kind of New York, kind of thug life type song pitch like that. Just some slow play to kind of get here. Pink Skies, definitely Marmalade type songs, fairs like that. Just some cafe sit for dames and cake. Some cafe kind of sit for dames and cake divas as far as these pitch can have. So just from the aspect as far as those tones can have, just treat yourself type vibes pitch like that. Just get caked up real nice. And that fairs from the pitch as far as those fairs going to happen. It's a cozy bit of a song, so it has real Apple type hook on here, just good pitches, just sunset type music to like a good type fair, excellent products about it. I do need to get to reviewing It's Dark and Hell is Hot. That's an album I go back with pitches like that. Now, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, I have purchased that particular album pitches like that, but I need to get to the fucking with the album more within sunset pitches, but has 4 songs out this one as well, good pitch like that. So Blackout is a hitting type 1. This has The Lox and Jay-Z on there, good pitches like that. So it's a good posse type song. Now really DMX is not as much full bound a lyricist. He's kind of like Tupac within these pitches. Tupac is Tupac is a pretty solid type lyricist, but it's kind of pitch he kind of goes for more energy within those parts as well, and kind of the aspect of this, the poetic way of saying things, pitches like that. But DMX kind of goes for more drawl and just kind of like the spark type factor and just like the embrace of it. But he fits along just well with Jay-Z and the Dynamite lyricist, the Locks, who roll with Biggie as far as those pairs going to happen. So it's good pitches. Blackout's like a red hot kind of posse type song, just some wild out with Pals, definitely I'd say here. Just newer era, kind of late 90s kind of hot box with Pals, definitely kind of get with these products. Just Assassins on this particular song. Good, nice song to really cough hard to, from Ganja Fair pitches like that. So there's kind of variety as far as saying. Now they've done a series of these type ones. I want to say there was like a Reservoir Dogs on one of DMX's albums. I forget if it's like, and then I forget if it was like, and then there was actually something like that. It might have been on a Jay-Z album, not a full bunch sure, but there's been a number of like these particular ones. They did some of these type ones for a good while, bringing back like NY type sound pitch like that with some good type fairs, but at least getting one of these on here. Affairs. It's All Good is kind of a secret type tune pitch like that. Now, there weren't that many singles off of like Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, but it's good type pitch to some of these extra type ones. It's All Good's the hitting type one. It's like a dope, groovy kind of DL, and by DL I mean download. DL type venue bang to get here pitch like that. Just a foot tap and nachos, Sons Affairs just out in the fray pitch like that. Just venue type embrace and marinate, good pitch like that. Hollow type tune, definitely. I figure It's All Good as a hollow type tune, definitely some diva pull side out in it as far as these players can have to spit like mean game. Definite nice one to spit some mean game pitches like that. I have to say here, just run up the drink tab for Flames in Mind pitches like that. Just kind of some day spill kind of gets. So this kind of product, why are you at this particular club pitch like that? Some of the fairs, just aspect, some of those type fairs amongst the products that just like good embellished within those prices. So this kind of pitch, DMX does have plenty of these type ones within aspects as far as getting towards like the particular kind of pop off. This is just kind of one that kind of has like the product of like Friday type music, but just not quite as like probably differential type Friday. One of these type ones for just kind of more schmooze type factors pitch like that. So good type fairs. No Love for Me is a hitting type one. This has particular Dragon, who's a Rough Riders type cat, and then Swiss Beats is on here. Surprisingly, the more I think about it, there were not a ton of real Swiss Beats in DMX. I mean, Swiss Beats has a number of beats on this album. He pops up quite a few times with the production fair. There's really not that many times that he shows up as like a hype man pitches like that. But No Love for Me is like a pace it and in between day kind of Chinatown and pawn shop kind of shopping, I'd say, fairs like that. Just kind of definitely some shopping type tunes pitch like that. Just kind of off the wall gifts for Flames pitch like that. Some of the fairs, so just buying like a meme shirt. Some of the fairs going by like a place like Hot Topic. Some of the fairs are Kmart. Some of the places with an aspect. Now, I say Kmart, I kind of question, I would think within, but I'm not as full bunch sure within pitch of Kmart is really as commonly type available with this kind of pitch of this. Like a spot like Marshall's, some stuff places is more with an aspect. You could say Five Below, some stuff pitches with an aspects like that, but it's kind of more this larger spread type store pitches like that. Some of the ones that's kind of in between Kmart and Five Below. Traditional type fashion, just kind of like a overcast kind of day pitches like that, just in like a good kind of NY Grease kind of Chinatown type fair pitch like this. So just some pawn shopping, some stuff fairs, just pitches like that. Just appreciate like the day scene, just some socialize, getting some chats out of your system, pitches like that. Slip-in's a hitting type one. Some of these type aspects like a murky and despondent kind of DMX pain to get here. Good pitch like that. This particular song's like an awesome kind of autumn decay. This particular song's like an awesome kind of autumn decay pitches like that. Just smoke slow to this one. Some stuff fairs, just some cemetery strolls and pitches like that. So this kind of variety, good type aspect. Tupac obviously had songs like this. Biggie's pretty good at these type ones as well. So it's good type phrase as far as getting towards some of these type aspects in the tone of dislike, kind of thug pain. Some of these type aspects in the tone of dislike the product of this. Kind of some lament for a day pitch like that within the ordeals of a more gray skies type outing pitch like that. So it's kind of very dislike somnolent type very good pitch like that. Just like How's It Going Down, a good change of pace for DMX on stuff fairs by good pitches. Next album would be And Then There Was X. It's a good banging type one. What These Bitches Want is a hitting type one that says Cisco on the hook. It's a real appealing type song here, good dynamite type one. It's like a very excellent kind of Chinatown ladies groove to kind of get with. It's like a very excellent kind of Chinatown ladies groove to get within these aspects, just feeling exotic and kind of traveled within sensitive aspects as the first one goes. So just the pitch as far as just like kind of just the spice within the aspect, just kind of badass type vibes, but just kind of within the pitch of this, the particular fair getting like a particular Chinatown type song and like a ladies type fashion is a little bit differential. It's just kind of pitch it, just having some of that NY type fear within pitches like that. It's kind of some city type fare. Usually you would think a song like What These Bitches Want with some of those type fares would be more within the variety like How's It Going Down, but this is actually more of a roughneck kind of R&B type song pitch like that. So it just kind of has like that aggressive type spice, more DMX on like his barking kind of growl type vibes more so than like the pitch of this like a purr or something like that. So it's just kind of pitch as far as saying just paying attention towards it, but just good bite, good dog bite type song for Flames and Mind pitches like that, some stuff airs. But this real Cisco really kills this song, DMX kills this song as well, so it's good pitches about it. What's My Name has some good type airs, like an excellent kind of buzz single to get here and rile up and crowd please as far as these pairs going to happen. Just stunt type song, yoking, definitely say some of the like a good stunt type song, yoking, definitely I'd say here. Some of the products, just extracurricular type fair, just enjoying like the embellish of it, just kind of spoiling the aspects of these type fairs. So just kind of pitch a disc in commute, en route for things pitched like that, just like fuck it, you're gonna get an ice cream, some of these type fairs, we're gonna get some of these type varieties, get like the eyeliners, some of these type pitches, some of these type fairs, the socks, some of these type pitches with the aspect for these varieties gonna have in this kind of in a good mood for Flames pitch like that, just amongst like the city type fashion. So it's just kind of within the pitch as far as saying this is just kind of some on one type vibes, just kind of in the mode for like commute and pitches like that. Just kind of miss the fair, just not so much full bound wanderlust, so miss like a humongous kind of I miss like a humongous kind of amount of travel, but this kind of pitch as far as saying just the aspect of this kind of feeling productive and just kind of in motion pitches like that. Some stuff there is just amongst the product of this list of things, probably more or less to do, just kind of product of this within the fashion of just being a good host in the outing type freight pitch like that. So it's kind of hosting type fair, but just kind of with the aspect of just not so much local bound pitch like that and more homebound. So this kind of pitch, just kind of the aspect, let's get some shit done. This is what I'm doing today. Pitch like that. You're coming with me. So stuff there's aspects like that. But as far as saying some typical kind of New York City grease pitches like that. Party Up in here is a hitting type 1. It's a recognizable DMX song pitch like that. This is like an easy kind of DMX staple to get and run it up as far as you. Party Up's like an easy kind of DMX staple to get and run it up as far as these pairs going to have them. Just get loud, definitely this. Have Dame Shake It Right. Some of these pairs is good, easy, nice one to bust move to, pitch like that. Easily going to have Bacardi to some of these type answers. Some of these type phrase. Now within the pitch, as far as saying, I haven't talked as much full bound within the pitch about some of these type tear up type fashions. It's kind of pitch that a lot of these, some of these type fairs are more designated for more album cuts for DMX. I mean, he definitely has a smoke type fashion. You should know within pitches of like some of his arrests that he got, then some of his type of arrests that happened for drug use fairs like that. But it's kind of pitch is actually kept to a pretty clean fit within some of these type fairs. I mean, I think within the aspect of at least the banner type singles that were on radio everyday pitches like that, I'd say there are some ones more within the variety like Party Up in here is definitely good. Get some drink in your system. It's kind of fair as far as saying a lot of these feel kind of not so much within the full bound kind of presentation like right nearby just drink in hand as these things are happening within pitch like there's a number of these that just kind of have the motion type fair, just the aspect of more kind of first impressions and like the initial kind of send-offs more so than like the pitch of like the aspect of this getting slammed right off the bat. But it's this kind of pitch as far as saying some good type products. Blackout is a hot box type song. Smoke with Like a Flame to How's It Going Down, some of the stuff pitches, some of the stuff fairs, but it's kind of aspects as far as saying just good type varieties. But yeah, Party Up in here, get some Bacardi in your system, pitch like that. Here we go again, has some good aspects, some of these type fairs. This is like particular. Sounds like a good jury and slogged ass day to kind of get here, pitch like that. Just groggy, kind of have breakfast, some type tones amongst it. Just kind of some traffic blah, I'd say, pitch like that. Just have like hash, whether ganja hash or hash brown, some stuff pitches within it. Good fairs about it. Just kind of the aspect. To this kind of blasé type fair pitches like that, but it's just the aspect is some of these type ones is good type pitch, kind of have these particular type songs and then pitch as far as just DMX does have more energetic type songs for some of these type moments for more of like the gripe type fair, but this is just, this feels more of like a morning fair type song. Some of these type pitches, there's a couple of these on here. Here we go again, One More Road to Cross, in particular like the rain, some of these type pitches that just have the aspect of just like the more slog type fashions that just like son of a bitch, kind of goddamn it type fair pitches like that amongst those type prices. It's kind of pitch as far as saying, but just paying attention to some of those type products getting towards it. One More Road to Cross is a hitting type 1, excellent type appeal. It's like a usual kind of BS and gripe and hustle type day pitches like that. Just bite the bullet, son. One More Road to Cross is like an album cut that has some pretty hitting type appeals. Excellent products to kind of get this one on here. It definitely is one of DMX's greater hits pitches like that. It's like a usual BS and gripe and hustle day to get here within these products. Just bite the bullet, some stuff fairs, just screw it kind of day pitches like that. Just get to beer later as far as these pairs going to go. This kind of pitches, keeping some of those onsets type in mind. If it's one of those type factors, just having to like particular get some hustle kind of going, chore type fair, that's just annoying pitches like that. Some type varieties, just if it's like a it's like a list of chores or just day type hustle within the pitch. This album is really within the aspect. Another variety about it, the hustle type fare is not as full bound within these comics. Doesn't have as much full bound kind of argue, but it's this kind of pitch as far as saying these are some of those type ones. Just realizing the factor for the most part. Factor about this album has some good cut loose within these fares, but as far as saying within the pitch about it, this is one of those type ones where just to miss the pitch of just getting the task roped out, some type pitches, just getting these collectively done pitches like that, get some of these fares just keep Diva in mind, some of the pitches, but yeah, just definitely within probably beer later, some of the pitches as far as paying attention to it, just to screw it kind of day, but just like, yep, things are gonna, just some goodies waiting pitches like that, some of the fares. The songs from the Great Depression are on here, pretty good pitches like that. It's actually kind of surprising that there weren't more hits from that particular album. A couple of these later albums by DMX did not have as many kind of ones that kind of surfaced within these tones. Like there were only 2 songs from Great Depression and 2 songs from Grand Champ, which is kind of surprising because those were pretty solid albums. I mean, I don't remember Great Depression as well, but at least Grand Champ had a good, nice few ones on there. But Who We Be is a hitting type ones, like an uncommon but slamming kind of usual Night Rile and Connect to kind of get here pitch like that. Just Torch AF pitches like that. Some stuff fares just feeling chatty, feeling chat. Some stuff pitch just an overall hot type one. So it's just a good NY type slam pitch like that. Has real excellent type hook on there. There is a pretty good series of these hooks. DMX does a number of these as well, like X Gon' Give It To You, Party Up in Here. He helps out with what these bitches want. Some of these type ones, one more road to cross the hitting type ones. So it's a good assortment of some of these type ones. He has a pretty good factor. A lot of these, similar to 50 Cent, these were just some good type appeals to get into like the NY type fashions. But Who We Be is just a good nightclub kind of embellished to get with your pals, pitches like that. Get some smokage in your system. Some of these type products within it. Get some smokage in your system, have some Cool Ranch Doritos nearby, some of those type products, but just the pitch as far as just saying good thunder within pitch like the accent type varieties. We right here is a hitting type 1, good type glam factor. This is a good nice summer type tune within some of those type pitches. It's kind of another nice one, kind of similar to Get At Me Dog, and particular also like X Gon' Give It To You, some of these type ones, like a grooving through like the city scene, kind of good ass day type vibes pitches like that. Also pretty similar to No Love For Me, some of those type pitches, but yeah. Also pretty similar to No Love For Me pitches like that, but good ass day type vibes pitches like that. Just have like some R&B, some of that fares, just the post music kind of embracing like a DMX type heat pitches like that. It's just some good nice fares with like the aspect. This one's a little bit more balanced. This one's a little bit more melded. X Gon' Give It To You is probably the more thunderous type single within those pitches as far as like the variety, just like a good shit start and just overall aspect, like some fire cake and powder cake type rile pitch like that. But this is we right here just has some good type vibes to pick up, like a Whopper, like a barbecue burger at Arby's, a Whopper at Burger King, a barbecue burger at Arby's. Some of these pitches just from the aspect of this. Grape swish in your ear. Some of these pitches appreciate the conduct and just sitting on some drops pitch like that. Figure out some next moves. Some of these pitches, but just excellent kind of 4 o'clock p.m. kind of embrace. Good fares like that. X Gon' Give It To You is a hidden type. A secret song by DMX, but a hitting song nonetheless. Is X Gon' Give It To You. This is a song with Slam as far as these pitches gonna happen. This is off the Cradle to the Grave soundtrack, which did have another hit song off there, which is another one that probably should have been on here. Pitches like that. The song Go to Sleep with Obi Trice and Eminem. Some of that pitches, but it's good type varieties. It's like a Miss the City scene in Traffic Gulag. Kind of get here in like DMX. It's like a Miss the City scene in Traffic Gulag to get in like DMX type fire pitches like that. It's kind of ignited, definitely I'd say, with some of these type pitches. Just very exciting type song. This is kind of a secret hit for DMX, some of these type pitches. This is a good aspect when these particular songs are nailed on a movie soundtrack, some of these type pitches. It just really brings like a burst of energy. Aaliyah and Eminem were really good at doing these particular type ones. Now Eminem kind of did that with then more. Eminem did that excellently with the 8 Mile soundtrack pitches like that, but he also did it good later on with like the particular Southpaw soundtrack as far as these pairs can happen. So it's good type pitches, but when pulling off these particular vibes just within the pitch as far as saying that it gives like a particular thrilling type aspect that really when pulled off correctly, it really imbues like the concept as far as paying attention, like the product of like being able to bolster like a good discography type air pitches like that. So it's definitely a variety. Aaliyah was pretty good at this, like I was saying. Eminem definitely did it. DMX pulled off these vibes pretty well as well. So it's good type pitches, just winning type song pitches. Like X Gon' Give It To You is a winning type song pitch like that. It's a good overall single. That's pretty much, I want to say this is the most popular song off the album as far as these first going to happen, which is excellent type pitches. Pretty much got right on the verge of getting to like 1 billion plays on Spotify. Pitch like that has 890 million, over 890 million plays. Pitch like that, so it's just good overall thunder and excellent vibes. Pitches like that, I'd say, but just one of those type ones. Just listen to, just got done with things. Pitch like that, it's kind of missed the fury. Just like fuck it, today I'm gonna go get a Whopper. As soon as I pitch, just feeling excellent, just breezing on by. Pitch like that, as soon as the Bears pick up like Get Bay, a Lip Gloss, some of these type pairs, pitches like that. Some of these other type 1s, so the singles off of Grand Champ are hitting as well, pitches like that. Where the Hood At's an excellent type 1. It's like a superb kind of early 2000s kind of club bang to get here, pitches like that. Just a consistent kind of highlight and winner, I'd say, pitches like that. Just dance real nice this one, some of these type pairs. This is further type fury. Now, DMX really had to return to form in 2003 with a good whopping 3 singles. X Gonna Give It To You, Where the Hood At, and Get It On The Floor. All these type 1s really took the world, real triple threat. Some of these type aspects within the tone as far as these pitches can happen. But I'd probably say X Gonna Give It To You is actually the better type fury, despite the fact that that's less of a dance club type song. Where the Hood At is more of like the dance type fury, just a revamp and kind of a sequel to Party Up in here, since the pitches. But it's just good type aspects, just usual typical kind of DMX bang pitches like that. So it's just further type fury, getting towards some of those type projects like the heat of it, good pitches like that. So it's another kind of anthem for DMX within some stuff pitches. Just more muscle songs pitches like that. Good type varieties to get flames to bust move. Post up with your pals, pitches like that. Get some nachos going, pitches like that. The Rain is a hitting type 1. Now this was not a single, but good excellent album cut as far as these pairs they have. It's like a good New York kind of Tupac style, kind of keep your head up type vibes and songwriting as far as these pairs gonna happen. When I say New York Tupac, just the aspect, kind of getting Tupac type vibes, just in a more New York kind of aesthetic pitch like that. So this kind of a good song right here, just some gray skies, kind of drear and pitches like that, just a pushing type song. So this kind of missed the pitch. Just paying attention to some of those type projects. Just a sing-songy type 1, kind of like a, it's like a good gruff kind of pop rap type song pitch like that. Has some commercial type varieties about it, but it's just the pitch as far as saying some of that thug pain within these pitches, just getting through the product of like the gulag and the bullshit as far as those physical section type pitches, just kind of posted up, some stuff fairs. Just goes along pretty well with One More Road to Cross, some stuff pitches. So just get some smokes in your system within the availability of it. Just pitches like that. Just once again some type fairs to this. Some interval type fairs with some straightening pitches like that amongst those varieties. So good pitches about it. So yeah, classic album pitches like that. So some of these type 1s I do feel like probably should have been on this album. Now within the variety, it's been a little bit since I full bound listened to DMX ferociously within these pitches. I do have a number of these songs on my iPod, pitches like that, but some of these type 1s with an aspect that I did notice that were missing that probably should have definitely been on here would be Damien. No, definitely say Damien, Get It On The Floor, and Angel. Some of these type 1s is good further type aspects. Like I said, Crime Story should probably be on here. Some of these type pitches. There's some other type 1s like the song The Omen with Marilyn Manson probably should have been on here. That would have been a good nice touch. Like another song like Stop Being Greedy, some of those type pitches. So just the aspect, the more shrill kind of DMX is not really showcased on here. It's kind of the pitch. The main 2 themes within the product of this album, within the pitch behind it, are more like club type rumbles within like the banner kind of ferocious energy, and then traffic kind of gulag type songs that just give you like a real excellent embrace to kind of listen to, just to miss like the product of the hours between probably about 2:30 to 6:30 pitches like that, just getting done with like the BS fare of it, pitches like that. But it's not to say there's other moments on here, a couple hotbox songs, couple hotbox songs, couple starlet songs pitches like that, kind of variety, couple pain type songs kind of combined with hustle and gripe pitches like that. But it's this kind of variety, excellent aspects on here pitches like that. So DMX is pretty balanced pitches like that. So 10 album, 10 social pitches like that, nails the vast majority, probably 95-96% of the hits pitches like that, 94, 95, 96%. Some of those type of ordeals within pitch, like the ones that are kind of on here within like the aspect, like the most aspect to kind of growth. The only real true shame that was not on here in terms of like DMX's best is just Get It On The Floor. But other than that, it covers like most of his absolute best. So good pitches like that. But just being able to say, so yeah, within the aspect 10 social. So the particular tone, the unfortunate thing about in terms of the future is DMX is deceased and has been for half a decade within these fairs as far as these pitches can happen. So it's just the aspect as far as paying attention. There have been some posthumous type albums, and there's plenty of other type 1s. Like this particular one is not amongst his main catalog. The only real other unfortunate thing about this greatest hits album is just the fact that there was no new song. That's definitely something I definitely feel like it makes the greatest hits album even more whopping when they do something new, kind of the way Eminem did with Curtain Call, with songs like When I'm Gone and Shake That, some of those type of pitches, and even Facts, some of those type 1s pitches like that. I definitely think DMX could have probably pretty easily have thrown a song. Now he might have been amidst like his legal squabbles and possibly in prison around this time, but it would have been an excellent type pitch if they would have had some degree of buzz song that could have anchored this project, at least if it would have been 1 or even 2 songs of pitch. I definitely think it would have been like an excellent type fair. But other than that, it's just the particular phrase. It's pretty dynamite type album pitch like that. Easy kind of classic, has virtually all of his hits, good excellent product. It's vicious type 1.